Welcome back to The Edge. Another antitrust suit headed Google's way. Algorithm updates come in fours. And what you need to know about the helpful content update. Yeah, big news. You're listening to News from The Edge for the week of August 22nd, 2022 here on Edge of the Web Radio.
From the Edge of the Web studios, here's what we're looking at this week.
This is The Edge. I'm your host, Aaron Sparks. We're covering SEO and digital marketing news each and every week and trying to drop this as quickly as possible in your digital marketing work week so you can learn from what we're learning and use it to the good of all mankind. Be sure to check out everything over at edgeofthewebradio.com, edgeofthewebradio.com. If you hadn't heard this show before, we're a 10-year-old and going podcast focused on digital marketing, key focus on search engine optimization, but we also focus on social media marketing, search marketing, conversion rate optimization, and the like. So we talk about a lot of different things in this show. Check out the annals of what we've been talking about and who we've been talking to over the last 10 years. This is the Site Strategics Digital Marketing News Desk of Edge of the Web Radio. Proud to have Site Strategics as the sponsors of Edge of the Web. Our digital marketing team is excellent at results-based, agile marketing that actually works. We'll talk about a little bit more about what we do here at the shop, but check us out over at sitestrategics.com. That's SITE strategics.com. Joining me this week to get his share. Joining me this week to share, oh my Lord. Joining me this week to get his take on all things digital marketing, well, at least just the articles that we're going to be talking about.
Nailed at the plate.
Son of a... It's Mordy Oberstein, head of SEO branding at Wix. Mordy, how you doing, sir?
I'm okay. How are you? How's your tooth?
Oh my gosh, I had a root canal on Monday. That was a thing. So the entire weekend was fantastic. So here's a great story here. I went over to an emergency dentist over the weekend because my regular dentist was closed because they actually
in a dark alley somewhere.
Pretty much. So I waited 3 hours in the waiting room to get in there, right? And I wait another hour and a half in the seat by the time the doctor comes around. So I'm going, all right, this is great, fantastic. Guy comes up, he says, all right, yeah, that looks like an abscess going to have a root canal. This may be beyond my skill set, and if I can't do it, I'll give you your money back. Check, please.
Is that true?
That's
that really
true.
happened?
It absolutely happened.
I would have crapped my pants right then and there.
I'm out of here. Give me some antibiotics. I'm gone.
That's crazy.
Oh, it was terrible. Well, what's happening in Morty's world, man?
I have 4 root canals currently at home.
Oh, your kids?
They're between camp and school, yeah.
Morty's little abscesses running around the house.
Yeah. I also went to a dentist. They're like, no, I can't help you with this. Beyond our skill set. You need a psychologist.
Oh, okay. So how's Wix over there?
We're good. Thank you for asking.
No problem. Fantastic. All right, moving on. We're going to look at some articles here this week. We take a dive into digital marketing news of the day. And this has been a pretty light news week, I think, to report on, right? Nothing really major happening.
It's been like the root canal of SEO weeks, dude.
We'll talk about...
Well, unless you ask most SEOs.
Exactly.
Exactly.
There's a not-so-silent scream of SEOs around the planet right now happening. We'll get to that story, third article today. But first article from Search Engine Journal. Google's ad market is subject of an upcoming antitrust suit. Again, this is from Brian Frederick over at Search Engine Journal. Google is yet again under fire from its alleged anti-competitive practices, right, in online advertising. According to Bloomberg, the U.S. Department of Justice could sue Alphabet, Inc., the search engine's parent company, for antitrust violations as early as next month. So, wow, yet another one coming at them. The long and short of it here is in October 2020, the Federal Department of Justice filed a lawsuit against the search engine giant, which we reported on at that point in time. currently accounts for 83% of the global market in search ads. The suit was filed under the Trump administration and alleges Google online advertising dominance constitutes an illegal monopoly. Well, in December of the same year, attorney generals from 16 different states and Puerto Rico also sued Google for state-level violations of antitrust. Both those suits are currently unsettled. Alphabet Inc. has also faced antitrust allegations and charges internationally. We reported on that, including three in the European Union, in which they were fined $1.6 billion. So, it's a continued series of attacks, antitrust allegations. Google has denied all allegations, insisting that its technologies are vital to helping websites, apps, and small businesses reach customers. We talk about this regularly, and I don't think this is an abnormal scenario with something this big, with an organization this big. I think it's actually natural that you're going to have this type of attack, especially when we're dealing with commerce, we're dealing with advertising, we're dealing with, honestly, revenue associated to so many businesses online. We just never have seen this before in this particular industry. What's your take on this, Mordy? Do you think this is outside the norm for a company this size getting this many antitrust attacks?
I don't know. You know, it's funny reading the SEJ article and the Bloomberg article that they cited.
Mm-hmm.
There doesn't seem to be. Maybe they're there. Just both publications didn't report on them. What are the details around this that the Department of Justice is saying, you know what, now it's time to bring a lawsuit? I don't see any details other than them saying, yeah, they're really big. That's like saying, well,
right, exactly.
That's monopoly of the ocean has a monopoly on the world because most of the world is taken up by water.
Right.
What does that mean? Like, I think it's all about, to me, I wonder, is this politically motivated and that's why this is happening? Or did they really find something and then, they're bringing the case? But where are the details? It's hard for me to have a take on something where I just don't know the facts.
Exactly. And there's muck stirring that's going on here, for lack of a better description. I think it is political. And I think if you, as a senator or a rep that's going to be in an election moment, if you can get your name on the ballot of going after a large organization, Republican or Democrat, right? Just being able to fighting for the people, so to speak, right? It could very well just be a branding scenario. Yeah, where are the details? It's all allegations, even with the unredacted document that came out at the end of last year regarding AMP and some of the challenges to other ad platforms challenging the head deployment of an ad inside of AMP. There were no details. There were no details there. It was allegations only, right?
It's very, look, I understand that Google is a behemoth, they're very big, but being big doesn't equal monopoly. I'm not saying they're not monopoly. They could very well be. I don't know enough to say. I don't have there's no information. It kind of feels like, I don't know, the truth's somewhere in the middle, usually, right? Google's probably doing things that aren't probably the most upstanding things on the advertising side, as we've seen with other digital platforms. Certain moments, Jedi Blue being the I think that was the name of the
Facebook and the Google Ad connection,
right? The I don't know what you want to call it.
Collusion.
Collusion. There's the word.
Yep.
Okay, not the greatest look. Is it a downright monopoly? I don't know. Probably somewhere in between. They're probably not like taking over the whole thing and they're monopoly ruling the whole ecosystem versus like there's probably some things that you can probably go after them on that is probably legitimate. Yeah, that's probably where it stands. It'd just be nice to get some actual normal information, to be honest with you.
Tough thing is that the congressional attacks here, or even at the AG's office, they don't have enough contextual knowledge.
That's the problem.
They just don't know.
That when they go in front of Congress, and Congress, I remember, I don't know which Congress person it was, gets up there. Are you tracking me here on this here phone right now? Could you go back to your cave, please?
Yeah.
Like that's the question you're asking.
Mark
Google
Zuckerberg.
CEO.
Yeah, exactly.
You're on this here rectangular device.
Exactly. That's literally what he did.
That's literally what he did. I'm not making it up. That's literally what he did. He pulled out his cell phone. Like, are you tracking me?
I feel like I'm there again. Morty's nailing it.
Yeah, that's right. Do you know where I am right now? Because I sure don't.
That's the thing. If we have got idiots actually representing us from a from a space of
if water is wet,
from technological knowledge, right? If you're trying to actually pose these particular allegations, know your stuff. because
at least have an aide who knows their stuff. So maybe, like, if I was that congressperson, I would fire all my aides.
I think that aide actually said, yeah, they can track you on your phone. Son of a biscuit, are you on my phone? I say. All right. Well, we'll come back around whenever something comes from that. But
as soon as there are facts,
yeah, exactly.
We'll report on
That
them.
never stops them. That never stops politicians.
Until then, Google's really big. It's bothersome. They're legitimately so sometimes.
Right.
So let's just have a bunch of lawsuits.
Google's got money, so the politicians want some. How about that? All right. Hey, we're proud to have Site Strategics as a sponsor of Edge of the Web. We're pioneers in agile digital marketing. Our core specialties are technical SEO, entity SEO, as well as SEM, social media, conversion rate optimization, all focused around results-based marketing networks. We've also developed a unique omni-channel media marketing and content curation process, all powered by our research and development from this show itself that we've been able to span for the last 10 years. We incorporate the best techniques for content broadcast strategy and execution. So if you're interested in what we can do for you, just give us a call at 877-SEO for web or 877-736-4932. Second article. You had something to say on that previous article, Jacob.
Are you tracking me right now?
I thought you did.
Are you tracking my thoughts?
I am.
I don't.
Zuckerberg told me.
I don't think I did have anything to add.
Okay, fine. Second article from Search Engine Journal, Matt Southern over there. Google is readying a product review algorithm update for August. The forthcoming update continues Google's efforts to show more helpful, in-depth reviews based on first-hand expertise in search results. Google's timing for the next product review update aligns with the conclusion of the just-announced helpful content update. We'll talk about that in a second. Here's the deal. There have been 4 updates for the product review since November of last year. Am I correct there, Mordy?
Oh, you're asking me numbers and dates. There was the
November,
the first
December.
April. There's one back in April of 2021.
21. That's one. November.
One. November is 2.
Right.
Then
March.
the last one in July was 3. This will be 4.
This would be 4. Okay. I thought there was one
I
in
can
March,
count
too.
to 4. Are you tracking me right now?
4 product update. Count them. 4.
This show has been sponsored by the letter I for idiotic.
There are 4 updates on product reviews. What the heck is going on here? To your point about the July update here just last month, that it got rolled out and then stopped and possibly pulled back in 6 days.
I don't know what that one was.
Yeah, well, I mean, usually rollouts are happening over a 2 to 3 week period of time, and it all of a sudden got deployed. But even if that was a mistake, right, they're still focusing so much on product reviews, and this is all in line of anticipation of, I'm assuming, Black Friday and e-commerce coming into play here, that reviews have to be incredibly valuable. The expertise has to be there to be able to provide value, and you've got the pros and cons schema that just came out. There's a lot focused on transactional support and expertise that supports transactions online. Why do you think there's such a focus on reviews? And is this actually more of an example of eat and trust that could very well be a much larger focus that Google's having?
I don't know how to comment on this without ruining the next story.
All right. Well, it was a good article.
I yield my 5 minutes to the congressman at the mic in Indianapolis.
All right, fine.
Are you tracking me right now? I can't stop.
No, you can't. Hey, we're proud to have Page One Power as a sponsor for this segment of Edge of the Web News. Eager to share with you what they do. They're an SEO agency specializing in sustainable link building and strategic content. They actually create content and links that are tailored to your goals, all with a project manager who will be able to be with you all the way through your project. So visit edgeofthewebradio.com/Page One Power today to sign up for a free 30-minute consultation. You may find an incredible opportunity with this group, guys. So thanks for joining the Edge, Page One Power. All right. Article number 3. We got here.
Thank you.
Not a problem. From Barry, because he was the first on the stick. He always is. Whenever this comes through. We can't understate this enough. Google's new helpful content update targets sites creating content for search engines first. All right. Google's about to launch, has launched actually as of Monday, a new and large search engine algorithm update called the Helpful Content Update. That just has an ominous tone to it. The Helpful Content Update will target websites that have a relatively high amount of unsatisfying or unhelpful content where the content has been written for search engines rather than humans. I'm just going to pause for dramatic effect there. The update will start rolling out. It has started out already this week. Will have a meaningful impact on search results. Google actually told Search Engine Land, here's the deal, is that SEOs around the planet are talking about this being the biggest update since Panda in 2012 and Penguin in 2012. It's huge. And there's so much nebulousness in this. Is what is helpful? What is satisfying? Everything that's going to happen here is automated by machine learning. There's no human hands in this, says Google. So they have an incredible announcement that you have to go check out. We'll put it in the show notes, but this has been a long time coming of what is helpful content. And we've talked about EAT, we've talked about semantic SEO, we've talked about user-first content. We just had an interview with Michael Fortin, and that's going to be coming out very, very soon, connected to this particular discussion. But it's huge, Mordy, and we're going to chop this thing up and go after a scrum to talk about this update here very soon. But your first takes, go.
Okay, so going back to the product review update, I think that they're connected. I mean, you know that they're connected because when Google's written language in their blog post about the helpful content update, HCU for short, they have language that very similar or exactly similar to the product review update, where they say, yes, like things like having firsthand knowledge of the product in question, and they combine that with in-depth knowledge. And that's why I got to pull up the article now. Hold on. One of the questions Google has for the helpful content update is, does your content clearly demonstrate firsthand expertise, which relates back to the product review update? It's the same language as the product review update. So it goes, does your content clearly demonstrate firsthand expertise and depth of knowledge? For example, expertise that comes from having actually used a product or service or visiting a place. In other words, they're combining firsthand knowledge and expertise like they do with the product review with having a depth of knowledge in general about whatever it is you're talking about. It's all one thing. I think the helpful content update and the product review update definitely relate. You see that they do. Like there was one that rolled out, a product review update that rolled out that kind of didn't exactly go the normal path. I'll put it that way. Only to 2 weeks later, here's the helpful content update with a product review update to follow. What I think the connection is between the two, I speculate, or it's good speculation or borderline not speculation because they're combining the language of the two things, is I think they're profiling language structures in both cases. And we talked about this on this podcast before, but like, for example, if I have a vacuum cleaner that I'm reviewing, if I've never used it, I'll write something like pro, great on carpet, con, not great on hardwood floors. If I actually use the product, I'll do something like pro, great on hardwood floors, except for cereal, or con, not great on carpet, but pretty good with animal hair. You'll have some kind of like qualifier or modification of your statement. The language structure is very, very different. And I put this out there on Twitter when this came out. Anyone who's an actual writer, when you're writing with a depth of knowledge, to quote Google, meaning you're writing something that has a little bit of nuance to it, versus you're writing a quick summary of something, or just it's a fluff piece. Right. The language structure is your sentence structure is completely different.
It really is. Yep.
So if Google is using the product review updates, and I think it's why they're so focused on product review updates, not just because Black Friday or whatever, but it gives them a focus to take probably the worst content out there on the web, the listicle, five fridges you want to buy this Christmas. And it gives them a chance to practice within machine learning on how to profile language structures.
Got it.
Which I gotten to the point, well, now let's apply that across the board. Here's the helpful content update.
So we've seen 4 updates of product review as they're trying to figure out helpful reviews against non-helpful reviews. quality, more expertise information against just mailing it in and doing listicles. So it's been tested on that space. And then we saw the trifecta here of the Quality Raters Guideline getting updated in July, which specifically spoke about helpful content, right? Then you see the product review coming through, the fourth iteration of that. Now we have the helpful content coming through here as well, the HCU. All of this is focused on quality content that's helpful for the user before anything else. And if you, regardless of whether you're writing product reviews or not, that's not the case. The case is if you're writing for ranking and not for the user, you got to look at your own content, and you got to have some true self-actualization there. If you've spun up content or if you've developed content specifically for a ranking, not solving a problem, which is a whole different thing, right? If you've built content over the years that's for keyword ranking only, you better take a very quick inventory. However, don't delete your bloody content all over the place. And that's what people are actually screaming about right now. And
That's crazy. I'm sorry. That's just crazy.
it really is, because you're going to do much more damage than anything by pouring out your content. But here's the deal, is that Google's been saying this for months, for years, about user-first content, right? And now it's showing that's right with the most sizable update that they've ever done towards this value. Go ahead, sir.
It's a little bit, I don't know what it's going to look like. No one knows yet. What is this going to look like at the end of the day? What does Google, consider helpful versus not helpful content?
Sure.
However, you kind of know where they want to go with it because you have the Quality Raters Guidelines. So you know what their kind of goal is.
Mhm.
Also, come on. Can we please? I could formalize it. I call it, does your content pass the brand sniff test? Right? If you go to a page, look at it not from an SEO point of view, from a brand marketing point of view. Does a user walk away feeling like you're trying to push them into a sale too hard? Are they walking away with negative sentiment? Are they walking away feeling, wow, that was a really great page, and I really respect that brand, or I really think this was a really good piece of content that was really speaking to me.
Right.
Well, it was well laid out. It was well articulated. The format was great. The tone was right. There weren't too many ads, all these things, right? The brand sniff test. If your content passes that, that's really what you want. And that's what Google's ultimately going for. So you know the end. It's not that we don't know what the end goal is or what that looks like. We know what that looks like, so do that. The only real question is, what can Google do in order to effectuate that? Okay, how close can Google get to what you can already do? So while we're all sitting here thinking, oh, well, is this going to be helpful content? Is that going to be helpful content?
Right.
Well, is it good enough? You know what really good, helpful content looks like. You're not an idiot. So do that.
Just do that. But Morty, it's hard work. It's hard to do that.
That's the problem with content. And this is why, Google has to do this at a certain point. Look,
Sure.
The core updates were great, and they really kicked this thing off. Google started to really refine down quality pages, quality websites, weeding out some really bad actors, really bad players, really bad websites from ranking really well. And as the core updates went on progressively, they started refining and getting even better, and new abilities and new whatevers. And we're getting rid of all the crap. But it hit a wall. I think it hit a wall. Like, there's only so far they can go with it. And there are still problems that remain. For example, AI writers. Well, are you tracking me right now? I'll just spin up an AI writer, right? I don't have to write content.
Oh, they're great.
Google has to have a way to pull that crap down.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. But they're great for
Because
podcasts.
as you well know, if you try to write a podcast description with an AI writer,
No comment.
Some smart off marketer with glasses and a beard and 2 thumbs is pointing to himself right now is going to realize in 3 seconds what you did.
It was a gentle signal to you. How you doing, Morty?
Are you paying attention, Morty?
Do you guys think this is going to start an arms race? Do you think that the gray hat, black hat AI writers are going to really hone it? So if Morty's example of a pro and a con needs to have a qualifier, just program that into your AI. So then you start saying, you start telling the AI, you can't have a con without an explanation. You can't have a pro without a except for when.
Right.
And have it start figuring that stuff out. Like, isn't this just going to
Escalate. Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's just like
Like
anything
Batman
else.
and
Like,
Joker. Yeah.
Probably.
The better the encryption gets, the more people try to find ways to break encryption. The better, you know.
When Google will have to get better at.
Oh, this is the Google dance, Jacob.
Right.
This is what it's been for the longest time. Google sets the ground rules, and then there's manipulation around that. Well,
Yeah.
it's not always. I mean, Google Dance is not just. It's not malevolence. That's not my point. The point is that there's
Right.
constantly churning, constantly evolving techniques. But yeah, you're absolutely right. You're going to see AI writers get spun up to be able to do and counter that to make it
And-
seem even more authentic from a experience level. Yeah, you're going to see that.
And Google's machine learning will get smarter and recalibrate. Can I share my screen? Can I show you something?
Yeah,
Sure.
I mean, our audience who's listening can't see it, but this is what's been going on in the
Oh,
rankings.
not that tab. Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry.
The audience who isn't listening is suddenly running to YouTube.
But if you look here, see circa June 15th.
Uh-huh.
This is like, I'm just using this particular my podcast website, but I've seen this on multiple websites.
Mm-hmm.
So there's fluctuation, forever. But you see that since around mid-June,
Yep.
crazy. It's if you're listening and not watching, what I'm showing is ranking for a particular keyword. And yeah, there's the normal fluctuations that you would normally see. Fine. But when you come to around June 15th of this year, you can see the level of reversal fluctuations over and over and over again is completely at a different level.
Yeah.
And I wonder if what's going on here is that Google was preparing for the helpful content update and testing out machine learning and testing it out again and reversing again and testing it out again, which is why you see this unprecedented level of reversals and fluctuation over the last month and a half or two, whatever it is.
Well, we've also been talking about the new normal of volatility at all-time high. We've been operating at 8-9% volatility for the last 6 months, and you're saying prior to this that that may very well be the new normal. Well, maybe we've been in helpful content testing this entire time.
Yeah, and that, by the way, is the truth. Like we're talking about, the real-time algorithm. Google said, and it's not exactly, but it is a real-time sort of algorithm where you don't have to wait for another core update to come around to get reversed back or to get restored. This is going to adjust your classification in real time. Now, obviously, there has to be it's a classification, so you have to reach like a tipping point, and that could take time. And I think there's like a holding period where it reevaluates or reassesses. But for all intents and purposes, it's not like a reset, waiting for the next algorithm update to come out. It is sort of a real time, living, breathing dynamic.
Boy, this is going to be fun.
Or we could fall completely flat on its face and it's a nothing burger, but I don't think so.
No, I think there's
Google's
way too
coming
much
out
build.
saying this.
Right.
By the way, it's machine learning, so expect possibly that this comes out like things are not okay. Things are not working well, but give it like the title tags.
Right.
Rewrites at the beginning, not great, but once the machine learning sort of got the hang of it, not too bad. You don't
But
do the planning
even
anymore.
title tag rewritings is a symptom of this because it's trying to find more helpful titles for the users. That's what it was actually doing. 60% of the titles were rewritten.
About, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Being able to, again, it's a pedagogical thing. Being able to take content, manipulate it, shows mastery over it, which is what you need for something like this.
That's the word for the day. Love that. Cool. All right. Well, yeah, we're going to be talking about this for a very long time here. So watch this. Watch the social channels. Watch Twitter because there's a huge conversation going on, and everybody's having their own hot takes on it right now. We don't know anything until things start really coming into play here. They rolled it out on Monday. We're going to be seeing things for the next 2 to 3, 4 weeks, getting some sort of eyes on who's being affected, what's being affected. But boy, this is going to be not specific to an industry. It's going to be far and wide one of the biggest things to be able to affect sites over the last decade, like we're hearing. And we're going to be talking about it for a very long time. Forever. All right. Hey, we are proud to have InLinks as a sponsor of Edge of the Web. Did you know that entities play a major role in how search engines understand and rank content? long gone are the days of keywords as a focus, like we've been talking about. Helpful content is the name of the game here, and now's the time to add entities into the mix to be able to reach higher rankings using Inlinks, an award-winning software in entity SEO. They provide some expert-level data on knowledge of what information is valuable to the users and what you should write to help users. I want to make sure you get that understood there, as opposed to any type of keyword ranking strategies there. You can churn up content, create content that's going to be valuable for those users. So go over to edgethewebradio.com/inlinks, INLINKS today to claim your free Inlinks account and start creating content that will outperform your competitors. All right, fast track real quick. We went a little bit late here because we wanted to get a good focus on HCU, but over at Search Engine Roundtable, got a number of articles here. Quick takes, 30 seconds only. New helpful content update to change SEO, much like Panda did from Barry Schwartz. We kind of covered that in our discussion here. Any
Ibid,
other
hot take? Ibid.
It is, yeah.
No, it is Ibid. You know, like see previous comment.
Oh, Ibid. Oh, got it. I thought you were just kind of slurring your speech.
No, we already covered it.
You're having a stroke or something like that. But
Nerd.
Duplicate content, canonicalized.
Nerd.
Okay,
I'm
more
saying
SEO jokes.
he's a teacher. All right. He's got a number of key factors about this update on that link. We'll have that in the show notes. There's a poll that was rolled out. Many SEOs say that the content they produce is helpful and they're not concerned. So, obviously they're rolling out the update right now. Almost 50% of SEOs in a recent poll from Alita Solis posted on Twitter, 50% of the SEOs feel their content that they produce is helpful and are thus not worried about this algorithm update.
Hot take. Nice. There's Neil Patel. Denial's not just a river in Egypt. Next story.
That's true. Google search on how many ads are actually too much for your site. Last article that I wanted to throw in there is Google's John Mueller was asked what percentage of content to ad ratio is too much to rank well in Google search. That's an inane question to begin with. It really is. As you mentioned, John said there's no number that he can share. He said that you should know. If it is too much, you'd know. The question was, how many ads are recommended on a web page when it comes to SEO? I have read several articles stating that 70% content and 30% ads is a good ratio. But what does Search Liaison recommend?
Did you get it from Bruce Clay? The number?
You got to stop, man. Oh my! Really, you're asking John Mueller how many ads should I have on the page?
5.4 is too many, no?
I don't.
Number. DA 77, 5.4.
42.
42.
42 ads.
42 ads, too many. Is it an infinite scroll page?
Oh, then you're in trouble. Then you're in trouble. Oh my gosh, why would even anybody ask that question? That's just.
First off, I don't understand. Like, how does John have that much patience for people?
I know.
I would have lost my mind a long time ago.
Do you think he can't give an answer because it's always shifting? And so a page that's 30% ads is doing really well, but then a page with 25% ads starts to get more and more. So Google starts, okay, and it's adjusting all the time. So they can't just.
Jacob, this is not the Talmud.
Okay.
You don't have to go into.
It really depends.
Back and forth.
Yeah, it depends.
It depends.
But I was saying, like, there's no answer today.
No, there's no answer at all specific
It's
to.
a sniff test. Sniff test. Okay. 4 million ads. This is what I mean. Are we really this stupid? Come on, people. I got a hero ad up top, 5 ads on the side. All the internal links go to a product. I got a pop-up. You scroll down, another pop-up at the bottom of related ad articles.
But are
and
any
another
of those
5 banner ads. Is that too many, John?
Are any of those ads tracking me?
Right here on my phone.
Are you tracking me? You know where I am right now? Come on, what kind of question? How many ads? Like, that's some kind of magical number?
There's none. Stop asking stupid questions to John, all right?
Holy cow.
Keep your stupid questions in SEO chat. Hashtag SEO chat every Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern. Not serious. There's some really great questions that are happening.
Yeah, well, this was how many ads are too many.
Ask that question in SEO chat.
Is Google tracking me right now?
I'm opening SEO chat with that on Thursday. Both of those questions.
Are you tracking me? All right. So who's on SEO chat this week?
The wonderful Alice Russell is hosting SEO chat this Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitter. And we're talking about advocating for your SEO needs. My SEO needs to stop asking about ads.
Oh,
and how are you tracking me right now? Don't wait for the translation. Quote Adlai Stevenson.
Answer me now. All right. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed the show, and certainly ask questions. Just don't ask really inane questions to John, because
you do me a favor. Go ahead. Ask me how many ads. Come on, I dare you. Ask me how many ads you have on your page.
Okay, Marty. How many ads should we have on our page?
You particular?
Yeah.
Well, you're my competition in my podcast, so you should have 100. have 100 ads.
100. Let's go do that.
For online medicine, online medication.
And quick payday loans. All right.
Yes,
that's it for The Edge. Thanks so much for participating, Morty. And we're still going to be talking about the helpful content for a long period of time here. But we already were prior to this. So, I mean, it's kind of...
This is helpful content.
It really is. We are.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's therapeutic at least. All right. Hey, check out the second episode of Don Anderson. Actually, check out the first episode, because a timely manner, we actually went through the history of Google updates right as this was dropping. And check out the first episode last week that dropped, because we try to do our best to pull in everything. It shows you where Google has been over the evolution of the last decade and a half into this update. So the shows that we're doing right now are very timely for this user-first type of focus. And we got Michael Fortin in the wings talking about user-first SEO as well. So pay attention to the shows that we're rolling out on the interview series. Thanks so much, Morty. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel whenever we roll out video content. And if you feel up to it, give us a rating on ratethispodcast.com/edge today, so you can let us know how we did on this show. And let us know if we're tracking your content, right?
Right now?
Yeah. Go ahead. Go rate us. Go ahead.
Are you rating us right now?
All right. From all of us over the edge, stay safe, stay well, and do not be a piece of cyber driftwood, and write helpful content. See you next week. Bye-bye.